This is Jessica Gates, and this is the Viking Views. The Missouri Valley College football team captured its third straight Heart of American Athletic Conference title, sending them into the playoffs and hosting a game for the third straight year. The Vikings defense leads the team. It ranks in the top 5 in several categories, including scoring, defense, and points allowed per game. Special teams also contributes with its ability to create scoring chances.
Well, at this point right now, very pleased with our kids. I mean, one of our goals was to win the conference. We've done that for the third straight year, so very proud of all our kids and the work they've put in, and now we get to keep playing. So it's a lot of fun at this time, but everybody's good, and so we're going to have to get ready to play well.
The Valley offense rotates several running backs, all of whom have contributed to the Vikings' rushing attack. The success of the tailbacks helped the quarterback.
Well, anytime you play good defense, it makes things easier. Our defense has been outstanding this year, and we want that to continue. We take a lot of pride in it, and we lead the nation in scoring defense.
The Vikings host number 12 Northwestern College Saturday at noon. Meanwhile, the Missouri Valley men's soccer team suffered a defeat at the feet of Mid-America Nazarene in the Heart of America Athletic Conference tournament. Viking Views' Tyrone Ritter explains the game with lost but not the season.
After conceding 3 goals to Mid-America Nazarene, the Vikings could only muster 2, falling short of the comeback. The Vikings did tie the game twice, but with less than 5 minutes on the clock, the Vikings gave up the game winner. Senior goalkeeper Josh Wells thought the goal by the Pioneers shouldn't have been allowed.
I think it was offside. I don't know if the ball's played forward and the player's in front of the ball, it's offside, so I don't know why the referee didn't give it.
The loss puts the Vikings out of the conference tournament. But even with the loss, the Vikings have been selected to play in the national tournament. The Vikings finished 4th in the conference standing during the regular season and didn't win the conference tournament, yet they still have a chance to play for the national title. Tyrone Ritter, Viking Views.
The Missouri Broadcaster Education Association has a new president, and Viking Views' James O'Sullivan reports the man who is now in charge isn't new to the business.
Viking Sports Director Ken Chiava has been in the radio business more than 30 years. He has been at Missouri Valley College since 2008, broadcasting sporting events and teaching. He became involved with the MBEA when he came to Missouri Valley College.
I just got involved with it and thought it would be a good thing, not only for our students, but to get ideas from other radio and television instructors in the different schools around the state and how they teach and what they think is important, and we could share our ideas with them as well.
He now takes over as the president of the MBEA and knows it's going to be a busy job.
It's going to be a lot of work, but I think we're on the right track. We have some good conferences. We have some very good students in the state, so it'll be worth it to see how the students do throughout the year in the different contests, how our students compete as well.
This is the second time a Missouri Valley professor has been president of the MBEA. I am James O'Sullivan, reporting for Viking Views.
Technology changes the variety of ways of how to communicate with others, how to get information, and even how to study in school. According to Apple, more than 600 school districts in the United States shifted from using traditional textbooks to using the iPad. Several high schools in Missouri already issued the student iPads this school year. Viking Views' Aki Nagasaka reports the Missouri Valley College Education Department started a new program.
This semester, some of the classes of the MVC Education Department started using iPads instead of textbooks. The students learn how to use this device in the classroom to meet this new need.
Here at Missouri Valley, we want our education majors to basically keep up and as much as possible stay ahead of the game or with the game, so that when they step out into the world of teaching and they're asked to take a teaching position, they're going to feel comfortable.
I think that using the iPad just brings a whole new world to the classroom. There's just so many different things you can do with it.
I think it's very convenient. It's different. Like Ms. Wright would say, technology is here, people.
They're not going to forget and leave their homework at home because everything is going to be on the iPad sooner or later. Their books, their just paper, pencil, everything is going to be on the iPad. So we kind of are examining all the different apps that the kids can use that they can do their lessons on.
There are so many things to learn and experience to use iPad as a tool. They are always sharing information of applications that they have found for their future classroom.
I try to get the students to use apps that are relevant to their field of study. so that, for instance, a student who's a language arts teacher, English language arts, would be using apps about poetry.
They are also facing some difficulties as they use iPads in their classroom.
A couple of them, you have to pay for them, which is kind of a bummer.
Battery life is it's not where it needs to be, especially like with all the things that we can do. I think it should be a lot more efficient than what it is.
Probably our biggest challenge here is Wi-Fi connection, which the college is still working on to have it all over campus.
The main purpose of this program is training and making students feel comfortable with a specific way to teach, and it corresponds with the technology that K-12 schools designate for their students.
We also are going to have to get back into the classroom and find out what the classes are expecting of these kids as far as technology, so we can keep up to date with the student teachers that we send out, so they can be comfortable at what's out there and know how to use it and just have fun with it as well.
Aki Nagasaka reported for Viking Views.
The Student Missouri State Teachers Association held its annual Scholastic Book Fair at Missouri Valley College this past week. Viking Views' Brent Kalwai has more about the fair and its impact it has since it began more than a decade ago.
Books, books, and more books. The Scholastic Book Fair at MVC provided a wide variety of books for all ages and interest levels. The event helped SMSTA raise money that leads to donating books to local organizations.
They will let you have 40% of your total sales in book profits. So each year we take that amount, the book profits, and we donate it to a charity locally. And this year the students in SMSTA chose to donate it to the Lighthouse Shelter, which is the abused women's shelter here in Marshall, and also the new Valley Lab School for preschoolers.
In addition to the local community, the book fair provided incentives for students.
We also offer door prizes so they can enter the door prize contest, and we give usually $75 to $100 worth of prizes at the end of the fair, so they don't have to purchase anything to win one of those prizes.
The fair provided experience for future teachers as well.
This is a great opportunity, first of all, to learn how to set up and run a book fair, because any public or private school teacher can run a Scholastic Book Fair. There is no cost to run one. And it just requires a little organization and set up and tear down.
The book fair also featured a book created by one of MVC's own authors. Business professor Mel Corlegia had his book Mental Math on display for everyone interested in testing their math skills.
He published it through the Columbia Daily Tribune, which is the daily newspaper there in Columbia. And I was asked if I would put these out at the book fair, and of course we were happy to. They cost $5, and $1 of that goes to the business association called Enactus.
With the help of SMSTA's Scholastic Book Fair event, new knowledge and reading experience was brought to MVC students in the Marshall community. This is Brent Kalwai reporting for Viking Views.
If you're interested in purchasing Mental Math, you can give him a call at 660-831-4226 or email him at corlijaL@movell.edu. Missouri Valley College had a ceremony in the quad for the students in the community on Veterans Day. Viking Views' Janelle Garcia has the story of the students who is in the United States Navy.
Active and inactive students and faculty were recognized on Veterans Day. MVC students and faculty were present at the ceremony. Valley's ROTC were honored to post the colors of the flags at the ceremony. MVC student Isaac Kinsella, who was active in the Navy, was honored to be recognized at school.
Isaac Kinsella, United States Navy.
Being recognized on Veterans Day is pretty cool, especially for the guys that have served full terms. I know a lot of guys that were in special forces. I really appreciate being recognized.
We recognize that our veterans have given something of themselves to this country, some even their lives.
I was in the Navy for about a year before I got injured. It was when I was going through surf passage, and I just got hit by a boat. It was a good time.
Isaac was recruited to Valley by his talents.
I was a cage fighter after I got out of the military. And I ran into a guy named David Jackson who wrestled for Mom. And that's how I got here.
Isaac plans on returning back to the Navy after graduating MVC with a degree in criminal justice.
I actually want to go back as an officer for special forces.
Janelle Garcia, Viking Views.
All right. You have a good day. Thank you.
One of the elements that goes along with going away for college is the experience of living on your own. For students living on campus, residence assistants are there to help with the transition. Viking Views' Phil Fowler has more on how RAs help maintain a welcoming and living and learning community on campus.
A residential assistant plays a role as the liaison for students from MBC administration. As an RA for one of the 22 housing options we have here on campus, there are a variety of responsibilities and obligations that the position entitles. Brett Fuchs, the Director of Housing and Resident Life, said that an RA is a support person to help ensure the health, safety, and wellness of all residential communities on campus. Fuchs said that RAs are often viewed as policy enforcers, but contrary to that belief, he said that those delegated as resident assistants are there to benefit both Missouri Valley campus and its students.
They're acting and ensuring that the liability of the college stays to a minimum, that people are safe, that people are getting the services they need. So in terms of safety, they're acting as kind of the eyes and ears for public safety, referring things that need to be referred, and assisting in basic security in the best that they can.
Fanny Bertolon, who was in her second semester of being an RA, said that one of her most important jobs as a resident assistant in Mack Hall is to make sure all residents are safe from possible intruders.
It can be anyone. Anyone can come inside Mack Hall, even people who are not on campus, like living or from here. So it's just like a matter of safety, like make sure no one's gonna hurt anyone else.
According to Bertolon, becoming an RA has its benefits as well. Not only does she receive a $1,000 stipend per semester, but has also gained unseen benefits, such as how to be conductive and prepared for anything that comes her way.
Being efficient, like say no or yes, like say no actually, like okay, I'm not your friend for that time because I'm doing my job, so that's the biggest thing I think for me. And learn how to react all the time, like how to manage every situation.
Jason Maiden, an RA for Redmond, is coming up on his second year of becoming a resident assistant and said that communication is a key element in performing his job duties. Maiden admitted the toughest part is communicating with residents while you're still getting to know them, such is the case with dealing with freshmen compared to upperclassmen.
Well, the freshmen, they'll all talk about partying, and all they want to do is they think college is all about partying, when all the older guys in their upper division classes focus on school a lot more and they're not getting wild throughout the week.
However, Maiden said the importance of dealing with new students goes beyond just enforcing school rules.
When I was in the freshman building, freshmen always going away from their parents. You always need someone to talk to. So being there for people and communicating with people.
Fuchs says that residential assistants are the eyes on campus and that they are important in maintaining order all across the school. As for their primary goal, to make it a welcoming community as best as they can. This is Phil Fowler reporting with Viking Views.
Residential students can look forward to seeing new personnel in the RA positions, with 5 openings for the upcoming spring semester. Missouri Valley has had its students go on to do interesting jobs and activities, but never before had one of its own students become an Olympic medalist. Clarissa Chun, a former Viking women's wrestler, won the bronze medal in the 105-pound weight class at the 2012 Summer Olympics in London. Chun paid a visit to Missouri Valley College and talked with current women wrestling member Christina Bautista about wrestling and her Olympic experience. Missouri Valley College Acting Department held an improv show, Flatliners, in Morris Experimental Theater. Improv students get the audience involved and asked it to pick to a favorite band and beverage. The answers were Lucas Cran and Coffee. Improv used their answers to conduct the show. This has been Jessica Gates with the Viking Views. Have a happy holiday.